So you want some sweet headers for your car. You go on Amazon, you go on eBay, you go on Google, and you can't find any. Whether that might be your car's too old, too new, too obscure, whatever the reason might be, you can't get headers for your car. So what do? You go to your local muffler shop, and the guy wants $600 to $800 to make you a set of headers, and that's ridiculous. You don't want to pay that. So at the end of the day, you have two options. You can either A, give up, or B, make your own. So the main reason that I wanted to make some headers is because of how sad the stock manifold was. It had a couple 90-degree turns, the diameter wasn't very big, and it just did not look good at all. Basically, the exit on it was tiny, and not only that, but it had a divider in it, which basically just completely killed any sort of good flow that could have possibly gotten through. It just looked really restrictive, and I hated it. When I was doing this, I didn't really have a plan. I was just eyeballing it and cutting and welding and hoping for the best, pretty much. I had some experience before with welding exhaust. I've made full systems before, but making headers is just an entirely new beast. It's a lot more difficult. There's a lot more that goes into it. Everything has to be perfect, otherwise it's not gonna work. So a lot of welding and eyeballing later, this was pretty much the final product right here. I was pretty much done in this clip. I hadn't quite finished welding on the exit, but I pretty much designed it pretty simply. I just had two in the middle that went straight into the collector, and then two on the outside that made an arc equal length to the collector as well. It's not the greatest design, but it's the easiest to make, so that's what I went for. So here I'm just putting some heat wrap on it. Basically my car is a reverse flow head engine, meaning the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold are actually on the same side. So a lot of the radiant heat coming from the exhaust manifold is going to go toward the intake manifold. So heat wrap is definitely going to help a bunch there. This also means that the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold kind of have to intertwine. So this kind of made it a pain in the ass because I had to shave a lot off the intake manifold as well as the exhaust manifold to get that to work, and having them interlock between each other was actually really annoying to make work. Most other people aren't going to have to deal with that, but basically this could not have been more difficult to make a manifold for. So this is the car that I was actually making the headers for. Now, this isn't a performance vehicle, it's not a quick vehicle, it's not even a normal speed vehicle, it's fucking slow. But I wanted to make headers for it for a turbocharger in the future. That's actually pretty much the only reason that I would ever recommend making headers. You know, making headers with a naturally aspirated engine, you're looking at 15 horsepower at most in most applications, and that's pretty much not worth it in my book. Unless you're really pushing the envelope of a naturally aspirated engine, it's just not worth your money. But anyway, here's how it sounds. but it's not tuned to have a awesome aggressive sound. It's tuned to be a daily driver. It's still got a catalytic converter and a full muffler system. The only thing that's really crazy about it is that sweet side exit exhaust that I pretty much just did for shits and giggles. But, you know, like I said, I just pretty much built these headers for a turbocharger later on. I wasn't really concerned with the sound, but it has a pretty mellow tone. It sounds like a 4-cylinder should sound. But anyway, would I recommend making your own headers? Depends what type of person you are. Are you patient? If no, then no, don't do it. But if you have a lot of time on your hands and you just kind of want to do it just to say you did it, because pretty much the biggest reason that you would actually want to make headers for your car would pretty much just to be the ability to say that you made headers for your car. You know, if you can buy headers for your car pre-made, that's the best way to do it, because they'll most likely flow better than whatever you could make homebrew at home. But anyway, this was just a little fun project I thought I would share. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. It looked like a dick. It looked like a dick.